Thanks for being here today. I'm going to use this mic so I can move around a little bit. See if this works. Very good. So you probably saw us when you walk in. A lot of energy here today, and we appreciate that. A lot of inquisitive minds, a lot of good questions. I know that everyone's here for different reasons. We have folks that are consumers. We have folks that are businesses, they're brands, they're looking to launch products. So I want to talk a little bit about who GenCanna is and what we offer the marketplace. So basically, GenCanna is a vertically integrated agrotech business specializing in the production and basically the production of premium hemp-derived CBD products, right? So everything from genetics, farming, science, and manufacturing of finished goods. What's important about this is the chain of custody, right? It's our genetics, it's our farming, it's our process every single time. And that's an important theme throughout my talk today. So there's an industry problem, right? I think we're all aware of what that is, right? So there's compliance issues, there's consistency issues, and then there's chain of custody issues. And I think we've all seen this across products. As brands, as retail brands, I think we've struggled as an industry to connect with consumers and gain their trust. There's been a lot of products on the marketplace that don't potentially test properly. There's no sort of standard in place for the products that you're getting, and consumers haven't built that trust with any specific brands. So nobody's won yet. There is no brand equity in this space yet. So we're helping to alleviate that. We see ourselves as a platform to launch brands with quality products and supply chain behind that, that's traceable and repeatable. So as an industry solution, we've built our business to essentially address those areas of concern. With compliance, we need standards and accreditations. With consistency, we need uniform production results. And with chain of custody, you need to be vertically integrated so that you maintain control from genetics through the farming, processing, extraction, and manufacturing, and then do it at scale. So this is a visual graphic, essentially displays what we do. People often ask, what does GenCanna do? We're not a retail brand. You're not going to see our products on the retail shelf. So what is it you do? Are you an extraction company? Well, yes. But it all starts with genetics. We do genetics research. We have partnerships with universities in the United States, and we do genetics research to make sure that the plants that do go into ground are going to produce the highest quality and most efficient crop possible. We certify our farming network. We work with family farmers, right? But we give them the genetics. We test their soil. We test their water. And we give them the genetics, and we give them the playbook. And essentially, we oversee their farming operations to ensure the highest yield for the crop. So think of it like a neural network. If there's an issue on one side of our network or on one side of the state of Kentucky where we grow, you can instantly transfer that knowledge across to another farmer that's seeing something similar on another side of the state. So there's a lot of benefit in having a certified network. We're not buying biomass from unknown origin, from China, from other places where pesticides and heavy metals are used, right? So certified farming network is the rock foundation of what we do, is having a scalable agricultural platform to build quality products. From the farming, we come in, we harvest, go into processing, drying the product, so it's not gaining mold and bacteria. Very important step in the process. And it's a bottleneck for a lot of folks that are growing out there. So we've built proprietary drying systems to address these things. Food grade facilities. We're an FDA registered and inspected food grade facility, right? It's an important piece of the supply chain. We're going on, this month is our BRC audit, British Retail Consortium, one of the highest accreditation standards possible in food grade products. Accredited manufacturing, like I said, certifications and accreditations. And then third-party tested. We have our own in-house laboratory that's undergoing ISO certification, as well as a third-party lab that verifies and corroborates the results that we yield. So that's done, and that quality control process starts at the farm. It starts at the farm when we're testing soil, when we're testing plants. And it happens throughout the entire process to ensure that the product that we say that we're delivering is what we deliver, right? Making sure that the quality is there, making sure that you hit assay, and make sure that the amount of CBD that you say is in that product is actually in that product, so that you go to market with a product that can be trusted. Right now, we offer products ranging from CBD isolate, full spectrum oil. We do custom formulations, topicals and cosmetics, encapsulations, and food grade products and ingestibles. Granted, I know there's a lot of questions here in Europe about, what's working and what can be done and what's not. These are the products we go to market with in the United States. We are working with folks here in Europe to make sure that they have a quality supply chain. That is the foundation of what we do, ensuring chain of custody and compliance from seed all the way to sale. Being a platform so that you can be audited potentially, right? So if you have aspirations as a brand to go into retail, they are going to hire a third-party audit company to look at your supply chain. And if you're using a supplier that's grabbing CBD from unknown origin, or puts a CGMP stamp on their bottle but has never even gone through an audit, right? You need to do your diligence as consumers, and you need to look for the paperwork. Look for if you're a brand, hire an audit company. Go look for that paperwork. Pull that thread, right? Because there's a lot of dishonesty in the marketplace. You need to build trust with your consumers, and the only way to do that is with accreditations and standards, and that's what essentially GenCanna has done, strive to do over the last several years. Oh, skipped one here. Services. So we offer bulk ingredient distribution, private label manufacturing, supply agreements, and brand development and support, research and development. So we do a little bit of everything, but at the core, we're an agro-tech business, right? We grow. We grow. So what's next? For the retail brands out there, prepare for mass market distribution. And I know that's an ever-evolving thing here in Europe, right? Which products are good, which ones aren't. It's evolving, but we've got to evolve with the system, right? We need to be nimble and agile, and we're here to help. Audit your supply chain partners. Get your paperwork, do your diligence, retain those files. Make sure they're legit. Don't take their word for it, don't take our word for it. Ask for the paperwork. Do your homework, right? As consumers, do your homework. Where is that product coming from? How is it being manufactured? As brands and retailers, do your homework. Make sure that brands that you represent in your stores have a proper supply chain. It's an important piece of what we do, right? And we're here to assist in gaining your customers' trust and ensuring that everything is done on a certified platform from seed to sale. And with that, take questions. Yes, sir.
Do you want to grab one of those? There you go, you grab that one. Can you make sure that locks on?
Oh.
Thank you. That's a nice, crisp presentation. Two questions. The first one is, are all your plants grown in the US? And the second one is, what sort of challenges do you expect in the UK if we were to grow at scale here? Thank you.
So, yes, we do grow. We grow primarily in the United States right now. We are headquartered in Kentucky, USA. Kentucky has been a wonderful place to grow our business. We're just learning, like everyone else, about the evolving marketplace here in the UK. I think that there's great potential here. There's obviously a lot of education going on. Consumers are becoming more intelligent about the products and the prospects of these products. We know there's challenges related to food. We know that. So I think you're going to start seeing products emerge in certain areas of the business, like topicals and vape, where it's possible. And I think there's more work to be done on some of the food grade items, right? And I think that'll evolve and that'll happen. But we need to be nimble as an industry and service the customers we can now, gain as much access for these customers as possible. People want access to the product. So I think we need to identify the products that we can get to market with most quickly, get there, and then reassess on making change for the food-based products.
Any further questions? Yes, sir.
Excellent presentation. Are you noticing any changes in your labeling being enforced by the FDA and the ability to use CBD as more of a pharmaceutical product?
Yes, great question. So it's certainly not a pharmaceutical, right, for us. We're in Kentucky, we're a food, right? We're an FDA registered and inspected food grade facility. We do manufacture to a higher standard, and that could put us into a pharma grade category, if you will, as an ingredient, but we don't label as such. We follow pretty conservative guidelines when it comes to the FDA, right? We advise all of our clients not to make claims on CBD, right? We give do's and don't guidelines on labeling. We follow a supplement facts panel, right, for our products in the United States that are ingested as a food. So a supplement facts panel with a clear ingredients list is what we prescribe essentially. In the end, all of our customers need to do their diligence, speak with their legal representation, and go to market how they see fit. But we certainly do provide guidelines or best practices that we've seen and engaged with, with folks that are close to the FDA and understand where they're headed. I don't think any of us obviously know the final outcome of where this will land globally, right? But if you're conservative and you're mindful of the current regulations, I think that's the best path forward, right? So we assist in giving best practices to our customers, and generally on the food products, they're a supplement fact panel.
Any further questions?
Hi, I just wanted to find out, do you only operate in the States, or are you actively seeking partners in other parts of the world?
Sure. So we do have some operations globally. We're looking obviously at increasing our footprint throughout Europe and other parts of the world as well. This year we'll be at a lot of these types of shows throughout Europe and Asia, just exploring the possibilities, right? We've built this platform and we feel that it translates well into other parts of the world, right? It's not just the United States that needs a stable production platform with chain of custody and compliance, right? The world needs it. So we're out here learning more about the businesses that are here, the consumers that are here. I've learned more in the past 48 hours about consumers in the UK than I ever knew in my prior life, right? Because interacting with folks here and just understanding the concerns, the needs, the wants of the consumer, I think is going to help this market evolve. So yes, we're actively looking to expand globally and to provide this production platform to consumers so that they can rely on and trust the brands that they're purchasing at retail.
Yeah, Gary, I have a question over here.
Yes.
Hello, thank you very much for a good presentation. Could you give us some idea of the economics and the actual value of the processed product on a wholesale basis? I'm looking at it from the point of view of
Sure.
a farmer,
Yeah.
with the prospect of growing and
Sure.
processing the product.
Sure, and I think that varies in different models, right? So it's probably a much longer conversation, and we could happy to meet you back at our booth, and we can chat a little bit about what that looks like. But it's gonna vary based on the model, and our model is not the same as another person's model that owns their farm. Whereas we're partnering with our family farms, right? We're trying to convert tobacco farmers that grew 7 generations of tobacco and bring them into a new industry with an opportunity to capitalize on a new crop like hemp, right? So we create partnerships in that regard. So that economic model would be different than, per se, someone that's creating their own, purchasing land and buying their own farm, right? So it'd be a tough conversation to have right now. Let's step aside and we'll chat back at the booth.
Any further questions, ladies and gentlemen? Well, if you could put your hand... Oh, hold on. Here we go.
So how would someone be able to access this support from yourselves?
It's a standard customer offering. So if anyone's interested in learning more, please come see us over at our booth in the front there. It's part of our standard offering. So we provide documentation, we provide certificates of analysis to our customers to assist in ensuring the value chain of their products, right? Or the supply chain of their products. So it's a standard offering, whether we're selling bulk ingredient or whether we're creating private label. We give you essentially access to the documentation and the certificates of analysis that will verify this product from seed to sale.
Is there any further questions for Garrett? I think what I took from that really was about doing your due diligence. And there's a common theme I think that's coming out through these presentations at the moment about due diligence and making sure that you do the right thing. And the efficacy seems to be coming through all the time. I think it's crucially important that we remind ourselves that we are stewards of this industry at the moment and that we always strive to do the best. If you could put your hands together, please, for Garrett, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much for that great presentation.